Yeah, what's up, guys? If you remember last time, after showing you my piggyback in action and stuff like that, I said I will be putting this BMVette on the Dyno real soon so that we can get some real results and see how my piggyback is working. Okay, so the BMVette is on the Dyno. I don't know how they call it, BMVette, or whatever. So it has an LS3 engine, which is 90% stock. It has just this intake, and not really much. And okay, so we put it on the dyno, and obviously the first pull was supposed to be stock, meaning my piggyback was completely zeroed out to get a baseline so that we can compare it later on with the other. So let's see what happens with our pull. Okay, so we did our first pull, and it was obviously 100% stock. Not really, it's only 370 horsepower, as yeah, I had done a couple of other pulls earlier, so I had forgotten, but it should have yielded something like 400, close to that. I'd have to see in HP Tuner what timing they have set it to and stuff. But anyway, so the idea was to increase. Well, I was under the expectation that this will be rich, and then I can lean it out and gain some power, but it's already super lean, so as you can see here that at 3000 it's 14, the AFR is 14, which is okay. At 4000 it's still 14, should have gotten close to 12 and a half almost. And at 5000, right, it's 13.9 almost. It's still close to 14. So this is like super lean. And I don't know much about LS engines, so I can't comment. I know some engines like to go leaner, and but we will very soon come to know if this is lean or not, after we try to tune it with that. So as you can see here also, so I would like you to pay attention to this, that up to 5000 it was 14 almost, this 13.9, which is again like 14, and 6000 it becomes 13.7. 13.66 is like close to 13. So it's still lean, right? So that's more or less, that's where it is. You can see 6000 something, it's 13.7. yeah, so it starts 14 all the way and it goes down to 13.7, so it's very close to 14. So what I will try to do is I'll try to richen it and do a pull and see what we get. Okay, I'm connected on my piggyback now. I'm going to select the whole range, Control A, and add 2 to the fuel, right? And in the end, above 5, going to make it slightly richer also. I'm going to make it, let's say, 4, and let's see what happens. Okay, as you saw that we increased the numbers in the piggyback, and we did another pull, and this is the result. I'm very happy to see the result. This is exactly what I was expecting. Not much gain in the horsepower though, but my goal was to richen the fuel mixture, and I got exactly what I wanted. If you remember the first pull that what we did, between 3000 to 4000 the AFR reading was 14, so we are already here 13 in the 13.5 range. So we have already increased the fuel, and as it goes higher in the higher upper rev range, you see that it reaches 13.8 12.2 all the way to 12.9. We have now actually successfully entered 12 range, whereas the old tune on the stock tune, or whatever the tune before the piggyback, is 13.9 at 14 sorry, 6,000, which is the rev limit, close to the rev limit. So we are now by one AFR, which people who tune, they know that it's quite an achievement, and I'm very happy. This is only in one pull I was able to get it. So we did not gain much, but this is, I'm going to explain it to you right now, that okay, this is our final pull. I put everything back together. I completely disconnected the piggyback system and put it back to stock, and did another final pull to make sure that it went back to our first stock reading, and that's exactly what happened. So I don't know if I can zoom this. Yeah, I think, yeah, I can, but how can I go? Yeah. Alright, so if you see, run 5 was our first pull. Run 5 got us a 370 horsepower. Run 7 was my second pull, but it was not really, so I just discarded it. My second pull after the tune, the official one, is run 8, and run 8 got us 376.9, so it's like almost 7 horsepower. And then I disconnected it, and I went back again to the first pull, which was, so 369 went back, is again 370. So so I come to know that okay, so why didn't we gain much horsepower? Okay, that's the question. See, the NA cards, the way they make power is, of course, if it was completely detuned and stuff like that, and then when you tune it back to what it should be, you're gonna obviously make power, because now your fueling is correct. But other than that, NA, you can't really squeeze much out of an NA. But on stock cars, since stock cars, like if you remember in my first videos, I had said that the factory keeps it pig rich, so that in any condition, any freak with his problems, he's gonna be stepping on it. So they have a big contingency there. But since this BM was already tuned, and it was already, on the contrary, it was lean, so there was no room for me to lean it out further. In fact, I had to richen it. So when you richen it, you actually lose power. But in this case, I still gain power, like 6 horsepower, and I don't know if I had richened it more, how far it would have gone. So this tells me that the car is seriously in lean condition. Because if it is lean, it's a technical thing. If it is lean and it is not making power, that means it is really in a destructive lean thing, right? It's not doing any good. So anytime the engine makes power, engine is at its optimum, but you still don't want to keep it so lean. It's like a contingency that you want to keep, but right now it has already crossed that line, and it gained some power right now. That actually symbolizes that the car is not in a proper tune. So anyway, so I got what I wanted, and next thing we will be bringing in the Skyfiro, and I'm hoping to see some better results on that, and stay tuned and see what goes on. Thank you very much.